Hello, everyone. We're back online. Welcome back. This is Aluminum Tarot. Thanks so much for joining. It's a pleasure to read for you today. And for this particular reading, we're going to cover the sign of Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And this is going to be from the period from now until a month later. We will be discussing some of the forces taking place and the things that are influencing your life at this point, and whatever messages come out will be the ones that I read for you. And additionally, this is really just an algorithm. So you just take that algorithm and apply it to the program that you are writing for your life. And so it could be related to anything: job, relationships, money, family situations, but the energy comes out within a specific form of patterns. That's why I emphasize that. So what we're going to do, we'll have a look at some of the energies taking place as we move into the sign of Aquarius, the solar force moving into the sign of Aquarius. We also have Mercury and Pluto and a few others. I think True Node is also in, or aspecting, the house of Aquarius, and with Sun, Pluto, and Mercury within the same house at this time. This is going to give some explosive dialogue to many people around. And as you can see, what's taking place in Davos today, it's been an absolute shit show on behalf of the United States of America. And for my American friends out there, me being partly American, my heart goes out to you. I'm not going to make this anything political, but good Lord, you cannot call an entire country a big piece of ice. That's just cringe. It's so cringe. Anyways, we're going to get straight into this, and let's go ahead and find out what's taking place for you, Leo. First off, we have justice, and we're going to talk a little bit about what takes place with justice. We're all about balance. We're all about trying to restore our life, looking at some of the deeds that we've done in the past, reflecting on that, and realizing like what consequences have taken place as a result of those actions. And perhaps what you're trying to do could be signing legal contracts, things like that. It could relate to that. But when I have justice as the central theme, and then the challenge being the Four of Pentacles, it's almost like you're trying to do your best to focus on your finances so that you can finally start saving up for the things that are going to be important for you in the near future. Because from what you don't see coming in, which I like to now use as the signifier for this entire reading, like what this is going to relate to, you have the Knight of Pentacles. It's about making slow and steady progress towards something like that. Additionally, we have the Fool, which is card number 0. And then we have the Four of Swords in the reverse. So it's like you're taking that risk in order to slowly develop things the way they need to, and to kind of focus on building back up your material, possessions, your firm foundation for life, things of that nature. Maybe your value systems are changing and you're trying to bring back a little bit more balance. So maybe in the past you were a bit of a spendthrift and you just threw all of your money towards certain things, and that in turn created a bit of a financial pinch for you later on down when you needed that money the most. Maybe perhaps you sacrificed your value systems to other people, and now you're learning how to be a bit more balanced. Maybe you stood too much on your convictions. Maybe the Four of Pentacles is holding on too much to your way of thinking, and now finally learning how to let go of that, to relax that, and to bring balance into the equation. So that said, we then start to talk about the first card that we can look at, which is the Three of Wands. Three of Wands in the reverse, though, however, says that you've grown impatient with certain things, or maybe that your ships just have not come in. Now we're going to clarify what this is related to. Clarify Three of Wands. So we have the Seven of Cups in the reverse, which is coming from the Murder of Crows Tarot, which I kind of like this deck. It's pretty nice, it's great to travel with. And additionally, it's got some pretty morbid themes and stuff like that, which I've always been a horror movie fan. So, of course, that resonates well with me. I love purveying the dark. And then, additionally, we have the Knight of Cups, clarifying that as well. So the Seven of Cups in the reverse and the Knight of Cups, meaning that you're getting clear on the things that you move towards that really give you emotional fulfillment. And this could be particularly love, it could also be work related. But maybe in the past you were looking at things and you finally found that maybe perhaps the direction that you were taking was not the best direction. And so perhaps if you were looking for jobs in a specific field, you now say to yourself, okay, I'm no longer going to want to pursue this type of employment. I'm going to go into a new field. I have to make that change and that, judgment call. And additionally, you're finally seeing clearly that, perhaps the things, you do need to move in a different direction so that your heart will be a bit more fulfilled with the work that you do. And so moving into this, we go into the near future energy. We have the Nine of Wands. So it's all about persistence is the key. And additionally, yes, you've taken a bit of a beating in getting on this path, but hopefully it will pay off in the end. Clarify the Nine of Wands. Sorry, card deck's going nuts. Clarify the Nine of Wands, please. And now, cards on the ground. There we have it. King of Swords. So this is a pretty interesting one. It almost gives me Odin vibes, where you see like the crow guiding the king of the intellect, king of the world. And what I see here is that, again, there's more information about getting to balance and being able to see things clearly for what they are. So that way, you know exactly which path and route that you want to take. And furthermore, it's going to be important for you to do this, which is the Strength card. This came out for Virgo as well. So you may have Virgo in your chart, but what we look at is that we're seeing that with the combination of Strength and the King of Swords, we're actually making a concerted effort to clean up the confusion that has taken place due to either situations that have caused you to lose finances, situations that have caused you to, take a knock on your values, your moral systems. And even if it relates to what you value and love, maybe you're getting clear on the types of people that you want to spend your time with. Because when you have the Seven of Cups in the reverse, that talks about finally getting the clarity after looking at and exploring a ton of options. So maybe you found someone that resonates well with you and you're getting clear with that person, or maybe you've just decided to drop the search altogether and you're no longer waiting for these things. Maybe you've finally, the search has ended because maybe the option that you have chosen is the one that you're going to go with and try to build on with. Now, that said, we're looking into the 10 of Wands, which is going to be the energy that is at the root of all of this within your reading. Clarify the 10 of Wands. Okay. They don't pop out yet. There we go. Okay. Okay. So, Six of Swords, Temperance, and the reverse. So, what we're looking at here, at the very core of you, you have a difficult burden that you have been carrying. And that's probably why we have the Nine of Wands in the near future, because the Nine of Wands is a card of near completion. It's saying that you've been bruised and battered, but you're getting to the end stage of what it is that you really want. 10 of Wands in the core or the root situation, clarified by the Six of Swords and the Temperance in the verse, means that this transition is not an easy process for you. So say, for example, you were exploring your emotions, you were working with a therapist and you wanted to explore your emotions about how you feel inside about certain relationships, certain events in your life. You may have been carrying these burdens for a while, but you're now trying to go to the other shore. And that is in turn getting you a little bit off kilter, but you are now trying your best to come to terms with that, face those issues, and then finally individuate and become a more authentic self. And furthermore, if this relates to a job, saving you money, Maybe this has been a difficult slog. You've had to stay up later, work extra hours, you've had to do a lot of stuff. But in the end of it, what you know is that even though it's going to, it's almost like a sense of impatience because you have the Three of Wands in the reverse and you have this Temperance in the reverse, which also talks about a lack of patience. It's almost like I want these things resolved yesterday. And that is precisely why you feel that you have to make this extra effort in order to get clear, to understand what to do, and to have a battle plan before you start to embark on this journey across the Six of Swords. And the reason why I would say that is it kind of matches the energy that we have here with the Nine of Swords. This is my teratoma card. Teratoma of fears, worries, and insecurities, doubts, all those nasty things that accumulate. Clarify the Nine of Swords. You have the Queen of Cups. And with the Queen of Cups, we talk a little bit about you're actually sitting there and you're analyzing your emotions. You're getting into the point where what you know consciously right now is that what you want is to have your emotions nurtured rather than just coldly treated as, an object of derision or of distraction even. With certain people getting into a lot of these emotional relationships where there's actually not a lot of substance in them to begin with. What you're now trying to do is go into a deeper level because, of course, what I tell people is that the Queen of Cups has the largest, most well-developed and ornate chalice of all the cup cards within the entire deck. And because of this, she knows her worth and her value, and the substance that she is made of allows for her to really, really understand where it is she should place that value in. So I wanted to clarify this. And at the root of all of this, we got the Ten of Wands. And at the crown of this, we also have the Ten of Wands, this burden. What is the burden that you have been carrying throughout your relationships, throughout your finances, throughout your job and things like that, that you're now working to overcome or to surpass? This is going to be the thing that you have to look, head on, and to have a bit of a logical understanding of what this thing actually is. Because if you go on the repeat loop about, oh, I want to save up $10,000 or £10,000 or 10,000 euros, and then you find that you're doing the same things over and over again without changing your behaviors, you will continue to carry that burden. And when we talked about the Son of Pentacles, which is the Knight of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Four of Swords, which gives us more of that anxiety, we start to then look into the anxiety that is produced by you trying to look for these things, you trying to start and initiate the process, but having difficulty carrying out to its conclusion, to its inevitable conclusion. The reason why I ask you about that is because in the end, we have the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse and the Four of Wands in the reverse. So this is only your current path. You have the capability to change this. And what I want people to understand about the tarot is that it does not confine you to a set outcome. What it does instead is allows you to see what the outcome could be should you stay or remain in the current energy that you're in. And what you want to do now is to, you want to attack that from a different angle. So that way you can then start to make progress, start to achieve, start to do things differently. So I'm going to clarify Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. What is the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse about? And what is the Four of Wands about? We once again have the Knight of Pentacles, clarifying the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Knight of Pentacles is also in the reverse. And then we once again have a cup card. We have the Ace of Cups in the reverse. So what it's warning you is that Should you not do the work required to achieve this specific goal, you will experience failure. We're not getting the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. I mean, we're not getting the Six of Wands in the reverse, but we do have the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse and the Four of Wands in the reverse. This is celebrating a milestone for your hard work. Make sure that you carry this through so that way you don't end up missing out on a great opportunity that could potentially allow you to experience more financial abundance or maybe have a stable relationship. Make sure that you're not overlooking the things that you need to do in order to have the things that you want. Because with the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, that's coming to a dead fucking stop. And additionally, with the Ace of Cups in the reverse, that's saying that you're not going to really enjoy that feeling of having everything come to a stop. So it's important for you to look at a couple of things. We're going into the Oracle messages. We talk a lot about the Moonology deck, which tells us about this. A personal issue reaches resolution. Full moon in Cancer. So whatever personal issues you are working through, if this is someone who's undergoing something dealing with psychology, then what you want to look at is you want to say to yourself, what work have I been doing on myself that will allow me to finally make breakthroughs in my goals that I've set for myself, maybe to become a better person, to quit smoking, or like to deal with past traumas, maybe to get my finances in order because I, have this awful attachment style or something like that. But with Cancer makes these things personal. So it's about going within. Cancer also represents the immunum coli, which is the furthermost southern point of the astrological chart. And this talks about you getting in touch with whatever you need to go deep within about in order to make this a success. And so that's what we have been talking a little bit about throughout the reading. And this evidence is that a bit more in depth and detail. And then we have this guy here. This is for our Angel Oracle of Emanations card. This is Siklaf, which is the Angel of Verdancy. Verdancy, I guess you pronounce it. And with that, Siklaf is actually the angel, the archangel that gives life to everything within the material world, is the angel of manifestation. And if I would think about it even more so, it's almost like the angel Geb, which when you go through the 10 spheres of the tree of life and the Kabbalistic knowledge, you go all the way down to Geb, which is the root chakra. And we always talked about the root of the issue. This was the root of the issue. It's the 10 of Wands, 6 of Swords, and then the Temperance in the reverse. When you finally grow new roots, instead of this root that currently exists for you now, then you'll be able to grow and receive. Because like the tree, Siklaf takes this tree form here. In this case, because what it's doing is it's reaching out to it's taking root in the heavens and then giving life to everything within the material realm. So within the 10th sphere. And that's kind of what you have to do. You have to, in order to manifest it, you have to have your roots within heaven, your roots within spirit, and, the knowledge that you'll be able to overcome this issue. So if you're dealing with financial hardship right now, it is important for you to realize the mistakes you have made in the past so that you can carry that knowledge to term and be able to actually start manifesting a healthier, balance sheet and a budget yourself, accordingly, and also start to save your money each month. Additionally, just cutting out the things that you no longer need. And sometimes that may be about culling, because when we have the 6 of Swords moving into this new era, you only go with the shirt on your back. That's what takes place in the traditional ride away. The mother and child are being taken by the ferryman to the other shore, and they don't get to take everything with them. And that means that your beliefs, these things that you hold closely to, your beliefs, your maybe, I'm not saying stingy mentality, but perhaps the things you've held too closely to, that might need to get cut out. So that way you can bring justice and restore your quality of life in a way that's going to help you, move forward with a lot more happiness. So that's going to be it. I normally with these readings, I just blather on until I can't think of anything else to say or any, no messages are coming through. So I normally keep these from around like 15 to 20 minutes. But thank you so much for listening to me bang on about this, and I do appreciate it. So again, if you like what you see here, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell so you don't miss any updates from future postings. Feel free to leave a comment below. And also, if you would like to give a monetary contribution, that is always welcome through the PayPal link in the description box below. Thank you so much. Till next time, wish you all the best, Leo. Until then, love and light. Bye now.